Half a day Flosstube. This is Lynette at Homesteading on the Homefront. It is Friday, February 2nd, 2018, and I am back for episode number 15. Lots of stuff to show you and talk about today, but like I said, it's Friday here, and that means for me, Quilt Off starts as soon as this video ends. So I'll talk more about that later, but I am definitely going to be participating in Kelly's Quilt Off. If you are not familiar with this, go watch the Joan and Kelly show. I think Kelly updated or posted a short video describing Quilt Off. So anyway, on with the show. I do have an FFO to show you today. Up until 2 days ago, I didn't know this was getting done before summer, but on Wednesday I had some errands to run, and I figured while I was out and about I would trek up to the Air Force Base. They have a frame shop there, and I had called ahead and found out that they did have large pieces of foam core board that I needed. So I went up and procured one. And spent several hours yesterday ironing and lacing, and I have a finish. So without further ado, I hope I am going to be able to show this to you without lots of glare. But Nantucket Girl is done. She is fully framed. She's not perfect, but including the whole sheet of foam core board, which I have a ton of extra, and the frame, I don't think she cost me $30. And she's so wide that this would have been a pricey one to get professionally framed. And I am getting a lot of glare from the windows, but I did make some changes so that she would fit into this frame. Mostly it was, I eliminated the word Essex. Down over here in this corner there was the Essex. I made the house only 2 stories. I think it was supposed to be 3 stories. And then I moved around a couple of the motifs to be able to fit. I did change it to the Navy Wife song. And then over in this corner, I had to add a beehive to represent the sea bees. And I love her. I'm so glad she's done. The only problem now is that I don't have any place to hang her here. So she will have a place of honor in the next house, but with 3.5 months left before the movers come, I don't think she's getting hung here. All of our walls are cement because Guam is in the Ring of Fire, and not only do we get the cyclones, no, what are they called? The hurricanes, the Pacific equivalent of hurricanes. We also get earthquakes quite frequently, and normally I don't even feel them. Sometimes I do feel them, and it's kind of a weird sensation. Normally they don't do any damage at all, but all of the houses here have to be built to withstand, and so all of our walls are concrete, and so just, you know, drilling a hole to hang a picture is not going to happen. There were some hangers on the walls when we got here, and so we've just made use of those, but we have no choice where we hang things. They hang wherever the holes were previously drilled. Okay, so Nantucket Girl is done. I have another FO to show you. Last week I talked about this guy, the Christmas ornaments that I wanted to make. I finished this one. This one is 1/2 on 14 count. This is 2/2. So he's a little bit thicker, and I like that look better. I used whisper thread on his beard and his hat. Cannot say that I'm in love with whisper thread. I love my cousins who will be the eventual recipients of these ornaments, but I don't love them that much. This whisper thread was not fun. Stitch and Mommy had a great video, one of her Stitch With Me videos. She talked about whisper thread, and yeah, I did fluff it with a toothbrush, but I don't think I'm going to be using it again. My other problem with this design is that, see how the hat makes Santa's face off center. So if I was to frame this or make it into an ornament, there's going to be a lot of empty space down here, and I don't know what to do with that. I'm going to have to play with it. I can't make it circular because Santa's face is not in the center, and Santa's face needs to be in the center. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to figure something out. I may actually end up finding a different design, but for now we at least have these two, and I'll do something with them. Probably not until Christmas, when I'm back in the land of abundant craft supplies. But we'll see. He is part of a larger design from Lizzie Kate. And I don't love this larger design, but I did love his face. I also got some stitching done on my snowy village. This is what it's going to look like. This is out of the 2017 keepsake calendar, which is not really a calendar. So let me show you how far I've gotten on this one. My white floss did finally come in, and so I was able to get all of the stitching done. I filled in all of the white areas. So now it's just a matter of doing the back stitch, which I'm not looking forward to. My other problem with this piece is that it's just large enough that it won't fit in my 10-inch hoop. And because it's a full, well, for all intents and purposes, it's full coverage, I don't want to cover my stitching with the hoop. So I do have an 11-inch Q-snap on the way. I ordered it a while ago. It's taking its time getting here. So I think I might wait until that comes in, because then I'll be able to do everything without moving it, and it'll be large enough so that the stitching won't be impacted. So I think that's the plan on this one. I mentioned the other day I ran errands. I went back to Kmart and I found these keychains. So you know I had to buy them, because how perfect for me and the Flosstube channel, Homesteading on the Homefront, half a day from Guam. I did buy an extra for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which I hope happens before we have to pack up here and leave, because otherwise it'll be a little delayed. So anyway, that's the snowy village. Close, but not done yet. There is a bit of back stitching. All of the trees here, and then I did start somewhat in the houses, but it'll take me a while. And then, since I finished what I was going to do on that for the time being, I went back to Miss Baxter's cottage. And let me show you what this is supposed to look like for those of you who are not familiar with it. This is a Stacy Nash design, and I fell in love with the chickens and the bees. And I mentioned before, I did not fall in love with Miss Baxter. I do not love people in my samplers. And so I have changed things up a bit so that I will be able to use a standard size frame when I'm done. But we now have everything under here. I don't think we had anything under the grass last time I showed this to you. So basically what I need to do is finish up the flower over here and do some filling in here, and then add the date up here, and Miss Baxter will be done. So I am pretty pleased with her. it's going to be monotonous filling this in. I have, I think between the Super Bowl, which is on Monday morning here, kickoff is at 9:30 a.m. So I think between watching the Super Bowl and then the following Monday, I have my needlework group. So I think between, what's that, like 6 hours of stitching time, hopefully I'll be able to get a good jump on this, because this is just brainless. I don't have to think about it. And then, yeah, another one that's very close to being done. I'm trying to figure out if I need to add something down here in these two areas, and also if I'm going to add something below the B. But if you look at the original, there's a lot of empty space here too. So I don't think I'm going to, but we'll see what the spirit moves when I get to that point. So I am hoping that at least one of these projects will be done by the time Farmhouse Christmas comes. It's on its way. I am on auto ship from Annie's, and she said that those who ordered just the charts were going to be mailed first because there was some kind of a holdup with the floss. So that's me. So I'm hoping that at this point my chart is somewhere over the Pacific, but we'll see. So when that comes, I'm going to want to start it immediately. So I'm going to, but I don't like having a lot of whips going at the same time, even though the two whips that I have right now are really close to being done. So we'll see what happens. In my last video, I mentioned that I was awaiting an order from Victoria Motto sampler threads, and they came in. I was lucky enough to get one of the extra boxes of the January colors, and there's so many I don't know that I can show them all to you. So they're gorgeous. There's some more over here. They are actually a little bit more vibrant than I thought they were going to be. So I mentioned in my last video that I had 3 projects that I wanted to maybe use these on, and it turns out they're not going to work for any of those projects, which is fine. Not a problem. These are gorgeous threads, and I'm going to put them to use. I was looking at these in particular, these colors, and they reminded me of something that I had in my stash. And so I went and got it. Let me see if I can show this to you one-handed. Maybe not. I've had this chart for a while. It is Hearts and Flowers, and it says it's a wedding sampler from Carriage House Samplings. And it's that saying we've all heard, because there's another sampler that has it, when in love I do commence, may it be with a man of sense. And I had pulled all of the DMC colors for this, and it called for the terracottas, which I guess on camera it's showing up pretty true. But in real life, these are way more pink and red than terracotta. And so I was thinking that these colors would be great. So that might happen. I don't know when it might happen, but it might. And then, I wasn't going to show this to you, but I'm going to. Just this morning, little one was showing me a project that she had found that she liked, which she's going to show you the next time we do a video together, which will probably be a week from today, because guess what? Next Friday is another professional development day, and there's no school. So we'll probably end up doing another video then, and she will show you this chart she wants to do. But I happened to see this sampler while she was flipping through, and I was like, stop, what's that? Like, how long have I owned this magazine for? It is March, April 1990 of Just Cross Stitch. And I was like, I really like that, and I could use my new colors, but it needs something right here. I would have to fill those blanks in. And little one looks right at me and said, bees, Mom. Duh. So, this also might happen with 2 bees there, which, you know me, I love symmetrical things, so I think that would be absolutely beautiful. And it's a square, which means it'll fit into a standard size frame. So I think that's going to happen. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is all of this dark green border, and then down here, that is a specialty stitch that I have never done. It is the queen stitch. So I'm up for a challenge, up to learning something new. Might take me a while, but I liked that one, so that might happen too. I don't know if you've been on social media yet this morning, or it's probably late night for you guys back in the continental US, but Priscilla and Kathy Haberman at Hands On Design posted a little teeny sneak peek of Chalk on the Farm and said that's all we're getting until the shops get their samples, or, you know, their products. So that's coming out soon, and I'm chomping at the bit to see what that one looks like. But the preview was lots of chickens and a red truck. How can you go wrong? That one's gonna have to be done. And then on the Prim Stitcher Society Facebook page, Nicole posted the other day, she is the designer for Kanikis, I think that's how you say it. She is working on a homestead series and some seed packet series. So, Year of the Farm continues. I don't know when I'm going to fit all of this in. Like I mentioned, I am going to be participating in Quilt Off as soon as I get this video uploading. I'm heading down to the sewing machine. I've been cutting out bibs. My sewing group met earlier in the week, and I spent the time cutting out fabric. And then yesterday I met a girl. She had posted, she was destashing her fabric, and there's not a lot of places on island to find fabric, and she had some minky that I had never worked with. She had some regular cottons that I had never seen before, and so I met her, and we did the deal, and I brought home some more fabric. So I'm going to be using some of that too. Some of it was like leftovers from a quilt that she had made, and they were long strips, like 8 inches wide. And I knew immediately that those are going to have to be grime guards. Like I said, I have an 8-inch and an 11-inch Q-snap coming, and so I am going to give grime guards a shot so that we're ready to go when they get here. So bibs, baby blankets with the minkies, my grime guards, hopefully some more project bags. I've already told the family, like, I'm spending the weekend sewing, so it's fend for yourself as far as food goes. I do want to do some shout outs. I'm going to try to be better about doing shout outs. I tend to get scattered and forget to do them. There have been a lot of new Flosstubers lately, and I've been enjoying the videos. I have 4 that I wrote down for this time, and I wrote down the channel names, but not necessarily the people's names, so I'm sorry about that. The first one that I watched and loved was AmyLovesToads, so I guess that's Amy, because I'm smart like that. We have a lot of similar tastes as far as designs go, but she is also an outdoorsy. Obviously, she loves toads, so anything gardening related, you know, we have in common, so loved that. The second person I found who I really enjoyed was Kinder Ramblings. She is a kindergarten teacher, which is where the kinder came from. Loved her videos. The Whistlestop Stitcher is another one. She and her husband just bought a place to do quilt retreats. And so she is sharing some of her stitching, and I love seeing the quilts in the background. So that's another one to check out if you're interested. Jan Hicks is a new Flosstuber. She is also a knitter. So definitely go check her out. The last one I want to mention, I forgot to write down, is Stitching Liz on Facebook. Her name is Melissa. She wants to be called Melissa. She just is so calming that she is good for my soul. If I am stressed out or I'm having a bad day and she posts a video, like, I just am instantly calmed because she just has that demeanor about her. I will say right out that our stitching styles are probably vastly different. Doesn't matter. Love watching her videos, so go give her a look, see if you haven't checked her out. I think that's it. I feel like there was so much I wanted to talk with you about. I'm only at 21 minutes. I think some of that, actually, the little one told me I was not supposed to talk about until next Friday. So maybe that's why I'm feeling like there's more.